Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Yoka and Brandy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your girl's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and lots of motivation that we give her when we're working with her, and the training equipment that we're using. Brandy is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in her right hand. That leaves her left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that you're going to be using. You're going to be introduced to your training equipment and taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session tomorrow. Now, Yoka is sitting very nicely at Brandy's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Yoka heel. And at this point, Yoka has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with Brandy when they're walking. Not forging ahead, not dropping her head onto the ground, not being distracted, but staying right with her trainer and focusing on the person that's on the other end of the leash. And that's the most important thing, is that she's more focused on you than the things that are going on around her. And that when you stop your feet, she sits automatically without being told to wait for her next command. And Brandy's had her out in public. She's been all over the place. She knows how to be a lady when she's out around people. She's really come out of her shell. Now the next command that Brandy and Yoka are going to demonstrate is the sit stay. Stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, you do not use her name. Now she was going to try to drop her head, and Brandy took a step in, gave a little tug up on that training equipment to keep her seated. When she returned to her, she walks all the way around her, returning back to heel right where they started, and at this point Yoka expects to get another command. And they start walking again. Now Yoka should walk at your pace. She shouldn't be rushing you, she shouldn't be out in front of you, and when you stop, she sits. Brandy leaves her in another stay. And we're working between the raindrops today because it doesn't seem to be raining anywhere except North Carolina and here. I went to Philadelphia, it wasn't raining. But we're struggling to get our videos done today. Now this time, instead of returning back to her, Brandy is going to use her name and a happy voice, and she's going to call her in. This is the come on command. And you can see that Yoka is happy, her tail is wagging, and she's supposed to come and sit. So if she doesn't, don't give up. You have to make her do all of her commands the way they were taught. And you see how focused she is on Brandy, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for her to be looking up at you. You're taking the lead. She's not prepared to do that. Brandy calls her in, happy voice, Yoka come and sit. And then back to heel. Now she's listening to a dog bark. That doesn't mean that she doesn't have to do her work. And Brandy talks to her to keep her focused, but if she loses her focus, Brandy uses her left arm to give that little correction. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the down from a heel position. So always with her seated first, left open palm straight down toward the ground, the one-word command to down and stay. Your sit stays and your down stays you can practice right in your house. When Brandy returns back to her, she walks all the way around her, returning back to heel. She stops at those shoulders again, and then she heels her out of that. And we will demonstrate that exercise a second time for you. Yoka's problem is that she's insecure, and that she needs a strong leader on the other end of that leash. And that way she doesn't have to worry about being in charge and acting appropriately. This time Brandy will call her out of that. She brings her right in and has her sit. And then she goes back to heel. And you can tell that she's happy doing this. She's not unhappy. We're not doing anything to her that's mean. She's having a lot of fun with it. We got a puppy in today that's a screamer, and that's what she's listening to. Brandy's going to leave her in a sit-stay. She's going to turn to face her. Now this is with distraction because she's very distracted right now. I can tell by the look on her face. She's wondering what's going on with this puppy. And she dropped her into a down, leaves her in a stand back, so all the way up. No, no, no. We're going to do that again for you. So you can see when she loses her focus. There's squirrels in the trees. There's all kinds of things falling. So if you control the dog's head, you basically control the whole dog, and that's why Brandy is correcting her for sniffing, for not paying attention, for not being focused. But the way that she corrects her there's nothing harsh about it. She tells her no, she makes her repeat it, but there's nothing harsh or inhumane about what she's doing with her. She's loving her up, she's praising her and encouraging her. We're very, very proud of the progress Yoka has made since she's been here. She has come an extremely long way. I know you're going to be very happy with your lesson tomorrow, and we will see you very soon. Thank you for choosing us to train Yoka.